Growing up, if I wanted to learn something about your hometown, I'd go to the library, and maybe our family had a book of encyclopedias because one of us like won them in some competition or something. Maybe there's something in there.
You should look.
But now, not only can you go online and look that up, but you can go to ChatGPT or a Copilot or one of the other, within the last 18 months, these new tools to be able to say, if I wanted to read articles about the state of Chihuahua that would tell me about its history, where should I start? And so it curates knowledge for you so that it puts a lot more tools in your hands to be able to learn new things. I think that's one of the most exciting things. And yes, we can be entertained by it in YouTube or Netflix or FitFam. Is that the way you say it?
Yeah, FitFam. Yeah. Shout out to
it. But it also applies to things we want to learn ourselves or learn about.
Don't you think that's dangerous right now? Because as we see information develop, and right now CEOs like Mark Zuckerberg, the TikTok one, they're being put in Congress because information is so broad right now. I mean, wherever it is different. If you search for Torreon here in Del Paso, than if you search it in Shanghai or you search it in Copenhagen. So don't you think it's dangerous for information to be so broad that we don't know what's the truth anymore?
Well, there's a deep philosophical discussion here about what is truth.
Yeah.
And you can take the philosophy class here.
I will.
I think it requires us to be thoughtful consumers and to be questioning things that we're shown, and to probe and to think and to read widely, to engage with people with whom we disagree with humility, because there's chances are I've made at least 3 mistakes already today. I mean, and if you engage people with humility, both reading but also personally, chances are that you will change your perspective, or you'll become a more thoughtful version of yourself. So I don't think it's dangerous to have access to greater knowledge, but it does mean we need to become better and more thoughtful consumers of knowledge.
Be more empathetic. I mean, because what you said about talking about people that they don't agree with you exactly, I think that's the best way to achieve world peace, to achieve a union between two parties. And that's something that I normally try to do every day, at least. Well, it's not that I'm from one party or another, or neither Mexico or the United States, but I tend to search arguments from both sides of every type of story to see what's the truth for me and to see what's going on with that type of thing.
I do think that there's one of the things that concerns me about this change is that historically there were very strong media outlets. Now there are still ones that are national, but the thing that has died away is local news.
Yeah,
and I'm a little concerned about that, about the decline in local news. Who is down, sitting through the school board meeting or the county commission meeting, or listening to what the mayor is saying, or reporting on what's going to happen when they widen I-10? I mean, there's just that level of news has been undermined a little bit because there's just not as much. There's not as much advertising. They haven't adjusted as much, and so that local journalism is something that I think I worry about a little bit, because that's what often ties us together as a community.
To have the same information as a whole. Yeah.
And that have somebody out there whose job is to bring us that local news.